Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Dosage podcast. We're live here tonight back in the incredibly expensive studio that we can't afford anymore after tonight for these shows. Just kidding. But I'm back with Lana. What's up?
Hi.
Dingus, thank you for the host. I love that alert. It's a good movie. You like the It movies, don't you?
What?
You like the It movies, right?
No.
You love them. Batman, thank you for the host. I love that alert, too. The Toy Story Jurassic Park. Emma, what's up? Welcome to the show, everyone. So for those just joining us, that's a good one, too. Lana with the host, the Resident Evil one. What's up, Ty? What is up, everyone? Happy Friday. For those joining us, we have a special multi-part episode tonight. For those tuning in live, for those listening back in archives, all the episodes are available now if you're listening to them. And it is the years in gaming. We're going to start off with 2016, and we're going to conclude with 2020 here tonight. So several ahead of us. What's up, Wilzona? Human Fall Flat. That sounds fun time. Let's paint the picture that is 2016. Already 5 years ago, at the time of recording this episode, it's 2021. It's hard to believe that was 5 years ago already. It seems like yesterday. How old were you in 2016, Lana?
How old was I in 2016? I was 31.
31. As was I. Good year. So it was about a year into DNA as a brand. We launched it in 2015, so this is a year into the branding. Let's also paint the other things that were important events from that year. Activision Blizzard announced that they had acquired Major League Gaming, or MLG. Electronic Arts introduced Origin Access, a new subscription service for Microsoft Windows. Game Trailer's video game website was closed. The Pokémon franchise celebrated its 20th anniversary then. This year is 25, obviously. Resident Evil celebrated its 20th. Again, this year is 25 for 2021. Microsoft announced the discontinuation of the production of the Xbox 360. Lionhead Studios was closed by Microsoft Studios, rest in peace Fable, until recently the word is that it's reborn under a new umbrella. Yahoo Games was shut down by Yahoo. Yahoo! Remember Yahoo Games?
Yeah, I used to play a shit ton of Yahoo games when I was younger.
Yeah.
I played like euchre and gin and rummy and all that stuff. That was fun.
That was the place to play it. It was one of the best and easiest, or most accessible areas to play online gaming with friends. A much simpler form of...
Chat.
Yes, and chat rooms. A much simpler form of things. Very primitive days.
Right.
Wilzona says they were 28 in 2016. Emma says I was 22 in 2016. MX, thank you for the host. Sonic in 2016 celebrated its 25th anniversary. This year is 30 years of Sonic the Hedgehog. I am hyped for that. They're supposedly putting a book out with a in-depth detail, much like the Mario book that I have. You remember that one? Where it's like the history of Nintendo and Mario. Mm-hmm. So they're going to do one for Sonic as well. It's supposedly coming out in November. I'm going to try to get my hands on that because I am a huge Sega and Sonic fan. Microsoft Studios launched Xbox Play Anywhere, a cross-play program between Windows 10 and Xbox One. It has improved greatly since then. Nintendo publicly announced its next home console, the Switch, and the Tomb Raider franchise celebrated its 20th anniversary in 2016. So that is some of the most notable events in 2016. Obviously, there are things that we left out. Please leave in the comments section if you guys remember something specific from that year that was super notable. Now, as we do it, we talk about our honorary mentions. There are a ton of games that came out in the year. We have an honorary mentions list, and then we have a top 10 list that we do. We'll probably miss a game that you liked, and we apologize, but that, again, is a great opportunity for you to leave a comment. So please do. Lana, what are your honorary mentions?
I actually don't have any for 2016. I struggled to get 10 games on nearly all of these years. So
Yikes.
I don't have any honorable mentions.
Okay.
In 2016, our youngest son was 1. I was not playing video games that much.
You should have been, because the older they get, the less time you have.
I
He was only
know.
1. You could have been playing games.
No.
I find
I
that as
was
a
too
poor.
busy.
I find that as a poor excuse.
Of course, you would find that as a poor excuse because you were playing games because I was doing all the hard work. So, mm,
Wow.
mm.
Why did
I'm
I?
kidding. Of course, that's not how it happened. But
Cody, can you get home quick? We need a replacement guest on this show. This one is broken, clearly. Says they were too busy at university to play video games. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do in college, is play games?
no, you're supposed to do your homework, get good grades, and make lots of friends.
I don't know. Emma says they were a
Meet
nerd
your husband,
studying
maybe.
and working. And you do what there?
I said, meet your husband.
I did not meet my husband in college.
I did. Weird.
Yeah, it worked out for you. I didn't meet mine.
Oh,
Womp, womp, womp. One day, maybe I'll go back to school and meet mine. I don't know. Who knows? Well, I guess since you don't have any honorary mentions, I'll talk about mine, because I have several. Go figure. Here we go. Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. Lego Marvel's Avengers. Rise of the Tomb Raider. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Dark Souls 3. Bravely Second Inlair. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Mighty Number 9. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. No Man's Sky. It improved over time. BioShock The Collection. WWE 2K17. Until Dawn Rush of Blood. Battlefield 1. Lego Harry Potter Collection. World of Final Fantasy. Watch Dogs 2. And Pokemon Sun and Moon. Those are my honorary mentions. Any of them did you think that would be in my top 10?
not that I heard. No, not that I can think of. Anyway, we'll wait till you get to your top 2. I'm like, wait, why isn't something in there? And then
Yeah.
I find out.
I went back today because there were one of the years that I'd thought of a game and I'm like, wait a second, that isn't even on my list. This is a problem. So I had to fix some things. And I did this in advance. I made this list a week ago, prepping for tonight. But I had to go back and adjust things. But let's kick off our top 10, shall we? What is your number 10?
My number 10 is No Man's Sky.
Really?
Like I said, I struggled to get a top 10, so I'm really reaching for some of these. Some of them I didn't even play at all. I mean, I played No Man's Sky for maybe an hour, but I watched it more than I played it, so I still feel like I get the gist,
Makes sense.
And I know this game struggled with expectation versus reality, but after reading, especially, part of that was done by the players themselves, because it was they were just unable to wait out the game. There were early releases that got leaked, reviews before they were able to do the day one patches. Retailers broke street dates. This was a whole mess. And I know the game wasn't as good as everybody thought it was going to be at the beginning, but it's had a lot of updates since then, and I think it's gotten a lot better.
Oh, I mean, it's a completely different game, and talking about it recently, it actually has a positive overall rating on Steam for the first time in its existence. 5 years the game's been out. It now is a positive review. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, launch game reality expectations, you mentioned that. It's definitely a game that improved over time, and yeah, I think people built this game up, and I think a lot of it had to do with Sony's heavy marketing of this game, especially from an independent studio. They're at a time where they wanted indie successes, and they got people talking, and this game got hyped up. It had a good sales, and it didn't deliver on what people thought was supposed to be delivered. Did they fail on some?
But that's the problem, is the rate.
Well,
and just see what it was. They made it something before it was able to be something, and then it was well, you did this to yourselves.
But there were things that launched that weren't there that was expected. The type of game, the procedurally generated content, and the various features that were somewhat marketed didn't get delivered, which led to, I believe it was Hello Games was the company. they went on radio silence for a significant period of time because of the negative feedback on this. They didn't respond to a lot of things. And they're such a small studio. I think they're just like around a dozen people or so, which is not a lot if anyone understands game development, especially game development of this caliber. I don't know how I'd respond either as a developer and a publisher. And
especially when it was kind of like you were being pushed by this much larger organization to probably do and say things and get ready for this thing because they were pushing these small developer things. And, they might have just been like, well, fuck it. We tried. Sorry, we tried. We're done,
Yeah. And here's the thing too. When a game fails to this level or a user feedback has that amount of backlash, they did the unexpected. They stuck with it and they supported it. How many times have you heard that happening in this industry?
Oh.
It's rare. It is completely rare. They will get ready for their next title and abandon that one. The only other one that I can think that they put love and support into and made it better was the Master Chief Collection. Of course, there's many other ones, I'm sure, but like around this time period that had a bad launch.
Yeah.
I mean, Mass Effect Andromeda, they basically are like, we're going to wash our hands of this and, hey, we got other stuff coming soon. Like
Cyberpunk, too.
Yeah, Cyberpunk's another great example. That shit still doesn't work right for everybody. They were just kind of like, okay, here it is. And this is CD Projekt Red, a developer that brought us things like The Witcher, was heavily critically acclaimed. And this was a game that apparently had been in development, speaking on Cyberpunk, for like roughly 8 or 9 years. And then to have the launch, and then they're just like, well, it doesn't work on Xbox Ones. You have to have a new console. It's not going to run on these things. But why did you release it then? So it's shenanigans for a lot of this stuff. But, we talk with our money and we still buy the shit, so it's our own damn fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough for this moment.
All right, what was your number 10?
I was going to say that brief soapbox brought to you by insert sponsor here. My number 10 is Final Fantasy 15. This is another great example of a game that didn't deliver on the expectations that I had hoped for it. It was not the game that I thought we were getting. And I liked this game a lot. I thought it introduced a lot of really cool gameplay mechanics. The story was neat. But I didn't love the fact that it was so, how do I put it? The cast was so, I don't want to say typecast, but it was stereotypical, and it was just one-dimensional, I guess is the best way to put it. Does that make sense?
Was this the one with all the guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Stupid.
Stupid. Not inclusive is the best way. But it was a fine game, and I thought they did an all right job with a lot of things in it, but I didn't fall in love with the story, and I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't great, and it should have been. That's my number 10.
All right. My number 9 is Pokemon Sun and Moon. This game, I think, just feels special because it's kind of us. Like, we've always called each other Sun and Moon in our song, for our wedding and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the fire starter is a Litten, which is a fire starter and a cat. How perfect is that for me? That's perfect.
It was. It made my honorable mentions, but you'll see why, because of my top 10, obviously. But it was a great Pokemon title. They released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon later on, which I don't think you've even played.
Nope.
Bought you a copy and never played it. Tisk tisk.
Well, Sword and Shield too. So.
Yep, we have those. You haven't played those yet. And there are new ones coming out. The Diamond and Pearl remakes, as well as Arceus. You got a lot of Pokemon in your future. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Who knows? Number 9 for me. This is probably unpopular opinion, But I enjoyed this game. I thought it was a neat take on the series, and it was something different finally, and that was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. A lot of people call it the Halo of Call of Duty, just because of how futuristic it was. But I enjoyed it. I loved the level design. I loved the weapons. The story was neat, and I felt this was a really solid entry in the series. It was still just as fast-paced and frantic as you would, but it was a lot of jetpacks jumping around, wall running, and like the series was not boots to the ground anymore. So like it lost its focus, but I think that's why I enjoyed it, because it was different. Because at this point we had been playing the same Call of Duty for like 8 years, it felt like. So this was a nice change of pace. But that's my number 9.
My number 9 is Lego Marvel's Avengers. I mean, I don't think there was anything remarkable about this one. It's, another huge open hub with a large amount of side missions and just so many things to complete. But I think that's part of what I love about these games. Like, you spend the money and you get the hours. Like, you get the time and the stuff you get to do and the characters you get to play, and they're just fun games, like they're mindless games that you can pick up anytime and put down anytime, and they will almost always make my top 10 lists because I love them. Love the Lego games.
You said that was your number 9?
Nope, that was my number 8.
Okay, you had me very confused. Like, did I skip you? Did I just
Sorry.
take it? Okay, I just wanted clarity on that.
That was my number 8.
Okay, I'm like, wait a second, I'm skipping turns. Oops. So that was your number 8.
Sorry. Yeah.
Got it.
Number 8.
Speaking of Lego games, there is a new Lego one coming out in about 6 months, unless they delay it, which is plausible. I'm excited for that one.
What is it?
The Skywalker saga of Star Wars.
Oh, yes.
But it's revamped from the ground up, so it's like all new.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have that.
Yeah. My number 8 is one that you had watched me play for a while. I feel you enjoyed the story, or at least seemed interested in it when you were watching. I can never tell if you're humoring me, but this one I think you were interested in. It's Mafia 3. Do you recall this
I
one?
don't even remember it.
So this is the soldier that comes back from Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to deal with everything happening to his family and their bar that gets like basically shot up by the gang. He also has to deal with prejudice and racism, based on the color of his skin and the things happening in the world at the time. And the actual world itself reacts to you depending on where you're driving the game. So consider it like a GTA clone, right? Mafia 3. You can steal cars, you can do all the same kind of stuff, but if you're in a car in a neighborhood that you, quote, shouldn't be in, the police will actually trail you and react to you differently in those specific neighborhoods. I don't want to say that I found it interesting, but at the same time, like, damn, I don't know how else to describe it, but they really capture the essence of the period. So
yeah, and as a white guy, you get to it's not anything close to what it's like in real life, but you get to see maybe a little bit of what it feels like every day. Just being followed because you're not supposed to be there.
Right. It's just such an interesting glimpse in something that I'm so unfamiliar with, and I don't want to be like, yeah, this is so fun, because, no, that's not the right way to describe that. But it's an interesting thing they did in the game to really capture the essence of the period. And I commend the game. The game also features the fun collectible thing that you were like, WTF? You collect Playboys.
That's right, the porno mags, yeah.
Ty says, so fun, I get to experience racism. Yikes.
Yeah.
Again, there's no
That's
good way
why
to
it's like, it's hard. It's like, I like the game and I'm enjoying playing this, but I feel like this shouldn't be Like, it's not a game. Like, unfortunately, people live that every day, and it's like, ugh. I think that's why it makes you so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
which is, you know.
Well, and the language in the game too. I mean, they drop certain words throughout it that made me incredibly uncomfortable. So, like, they don't hold
Yeah.
back in this game. Uh, I recently got not recently, last summer, I got the remastered trilogy and played through those again. They're just such fun games.
There's one where you're like an Italian immigrant
Yep,
in New York,
it's
right?
Mafia 2.
Yeah, okay. I remember that one too. All right.
Really good games.
All right. So my number 7 is Stardew Valley. Um, it's basically like a farm simulation game with relationship building and quests. That's all it is. But it's super fun. It's another one of those games that you can just like throw on and play and then turn off when you need to. Um, it's very much like Minecraft or what was the other one? Harvest Moon.
Mm-hmm. It's
Animal Crossing.
inspired by Harvest Moon.
Yeah. But it was fun. I didn't play it a ton, but I did enjoy it when I got to play it.
I tried to get Atticus to play it. He played it for a little bit. Like, he learned some of the basic mechanics and stuff, but he got bored of it quickly. He wanted to go back to Minecraft, so that's more his...
Yeah, he really, really enjoyed Minecraft.
Oh,
well, you can't build. Like, there's no building like there is in,
right. And that's what he does. He emulates all these streamers he watches, like, build designs. So,
yep.
So he's really attached himself to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, Stardew Valley, I thought it was really, really fun. You have to go in every day and talk to the characters to build relationships with them, and it opens up more dialogue trees. And nighttime, the monsters come out and they're harder, and then the daytime, you can explore and mine and stuff. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's one of my top played games on the Switch too.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me if it was still up there. Yeah.
Speaking of top,
that was another game that I watched more than I played.
Yeah, I mean, I did put a lot of hours into it. I played it at one of my jobs while working. Oops. I'm not there anymore, so it doesn't matter. My number 7 is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This one, I love this game, but I also have like mixed feelings on this series now. Even more so that they're putting out a re-release of these games for the PS5 yet again. Like, that stuff's getting out of hand. But
and yet you're gonna buy it?
No, probably not that one. I don't know. I don't see myself with that one. The reason is
everybody has it on tape. Did you guys have it on tape? Is it here?
It's okay, we're recorded. And I'm going to explain why. The reason that it's number 7 is because it is a fantastic story. The visuals are amazing. I love the little nod to Crash Bandicoot in it. For those that don't know, the developer Naughty Dog got their start back in the day with Crash and have worked their way up to series like Uncharted, among The Last of Us, and other fantastic franchises. So I thought that was neat. Like, the couple in the game, they're just relaxing on the couch. They're not on an adventure anymore. And, like, their big adventure is just him turning on the PlayStation and playing Crash Bandicoot and them taking turns trying to beat a level. I thought that was neat. And just the relationship story in it is really well done. The brother storyline. And there's just a lot of cool stuff in it. But the negative was they don't reinvent the wheel. Not that they needed to, but when you've played 1 through 3, you've played Lost Legacy, and then playing 4, you've played 5 games of the same, scaling up this thing, shoot out in an area, get to the next thing, find treasure. Like, it was just kind of rinse and repeat for me. And at about 16 hours long for the story, I felt it dragged a little bit, and it needed to be shorter. So that's my critiques. And I know this isn't a review show, but like, because a lot of people are like, 7? Why is it going to be 7? That was just amazing. But to me, that's why. It didn't reinvent the wheel. And I feel at this point it needed to. But that's my number 7.
Alrighty, my number 6 is Dragon Quest Builders. another game similar to like Minecraft's and um, stuff like that. You know, you wake up and the world has been, it's like a post-apocalyptic world where nobody knows anything, nobody knows how to build, nobody knows how to make things, but you have this magic thing that helps you, and you show everybody how to build, and you know, find people and you bring them back to your town and you create them rooms, and then you keep collecting materials and you build and you build and you build. And again, it was just, at this time I needed games that I could pick up and play for short periods of time and then put down because I didn't have a lot of time to play. And this just kind of hit that spot, and it was fun, you know, that silly animation style, and I enjoyed it. I didn't play a ton of it, but I did enjoy it.
I remember downloading the demo for this because I had been familiar with Dragon Quest for like a vast majority of my life. It's an ongoing franchise for those that don't know. But this is a spin-off of obviously the mainline RPG of Dragon Quest itself. And we downloaded that demo on the PlayStation. You were like, whoa, we need this game. and when you say that's I don't have to convince her to spend $60. She's sold. So I got excited, and it fits that simulation builder thing that I'm also interested in. It's also why my number 6 is Dragon Quest Builders. So, and I think a coincidence. Hey, we didn't plan this. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders, it's fun, and there is a sequel out as well now, but it's a lazy game, and sometimes in life you need that easy to pick up and play lazy game, something that doesn't cause stress, something that you're not going to yell at the TV and say I shot him first. It's a lazy game, and again, you need these lazy games, and it's inviting for all ages too. For those wondering, if you need a good family game on a family night, if anyone's listening that enjoys that. Oh. Cody King says, "Sup, Dad." I'm your dad now? I'm confused. We got the turtles doing it. And being called dad, and then turtles are doing it. It begins.
I hate that soundbite. All right. My number 5 is Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. It was obviously just a Lego Star Wars game. But there was a little thing at the end that also bridged the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It depicts the Battle of Endor, the destruction of the Death Star 2, and then, the whole middle part of that or whatever. And it was kind of fun. And I love the ones that take after the movies, especially the series movies, and they add in all the silly stuff. Nobody dies. Because
it's a kid's game.
Right?
Yeah.
So they don't know. Yeah. Even when the Death Star blows up, no one actually dies. So.
I'm turning off the chicken dance. That one goes too long. It's obnoxious.
I was going to say, it's like 7 hours long.
Cut it off, damn it. No, Cody. No. One's obnoxious. Number 5. What?
No, I was just going to say, that was my number 5. That was it.
My number 5 is a sequel to a game series that I really enjoy, and I feel like each one that they've put out just gets better and better. And this one might be my favorite in the series, and it is Dead Rising 4. Cody demands his 1K back. No. So Dead Rising 4, basically you are the photographer Frank from, I think it's Frank West. I'm drawing a blank now if that's accurate or not. And you're in a mall around Christmas time, and another outbreak of zombies happens. You get to utilize things around you, various weapons, and you can combine things to make super weapons. You have missions where you have to have, obviously, objectives to go through. You discover things about the military, and then it's just a hack and slash zombie game. I'm trying to make this bigger than it really is. It's hordes of zombies that you hack and slash your way through in a mall, and then you venture outside of the mall into the adjacent town and work your way through the mission strands. It's just a fun game, and you get vehicles and you just mow down hordes and hordes of zombies, and that's fun for me. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a lot of fun. I haven't had that much fun with a zombie game in a long time.
Well, that's all that matters. All right, my number 4 is Paper Mario Color Splash. You basically run around with a hammer, putting color back into the world because it's been sucked out by, to no one's surprise, Bowser. I mean, it's a pretty standard Paper Mario game. They put in some new stuff, little things here or there with the turn-based combat system. But I mean, they're fun. I freaking love Paper Mario. In fact, I think I found one on the list that I haven't played yet, so I'm probably gonna need to get that one.
A Paper Mario game?
It was fun. I
Is
feel
it
like there was a
Sticker
Paper
Star?
Mario game, maybe for the 3DS.
The Sticker Star
Sticker
for
Star?
3DS. We don't have that one.
No, I think Peel. Oh my god.
I'll remember this. When he has his next NOW podcast, I'm just going to spam sound alerts the whole time. Remember that, Cody. 2 can play this game.
I think I played Sticker Star. I feel like I played Sticker Star because I remember you had to rip the stickers off and they would like slide under the door. So I don't think it was Sticker Star, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, the point is, Paper Mario Color Splash, my number 4.
Number 4 for me is Gears of War 4. How fitting that it's number 4. For those that haven't played, this is the start of a new... Go! I'm just turning off all alerts tonight. So, alerts are done. You guys have lost your privilege. They're spamming the longest alerts. 30-second goal alert. Privilege gone. No alerts for you. Cody's spending money now on alerts. There, I turned that one back on for you. Anyways. Gears of War 4 is my 4th pick. This is the start of a new trilogy, and it takes place years after the events of Marcus and Dom, and it actually has, which we find out is the descendants of them and other returning cast members. So again, many years down the line, the war continues, but there is a new enemy involved in everything that's happening. Did we ever finish this one together?
No, God!
Nope.
No, God,
Wait.
please, no! No!
Was this? Did we finish this one and we didn't finish 5?
No!
We definitely didn't finish 5.
Yeah, so I think we might have finished this one. I guess I don't remember, I'll be honest with you. I think we finished 4, but we didn't finish 5.
Cody says, I hate sounds. I don't hate sounds. It's just
Focus on the game.
they're inappropriately timed
This is why
sounds.
these take 7 hours long.
Distractions. They're distracting me. See what they do.
Okay, focus.
I can't focus. I can't focus. I can't. They messed it up. I've lost focus.
Okay. You were talking about Gears of War 4.
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, my number 3 is Pokemon Go. It felt like literally every person in the world played this game when it came out. Everybody we knew played it. I remember walking around and like people would be huddled around obvious Pokestops. You know,
Dicks!
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Just being able to play out in the real world like you were catching Pokemon, just walking on the street. It was a fun time.
You said this was your number 3?
Yes, why?
I don't know. Just wondering. We got called dicks by Cody. The sound alert.
Oh, that's okay.
What's up, Trevor? He said he's late watching the nephew. Just got him ready for bath. Keeping him up late, man. Yeah, make him sleep in. Ain't gonna happen in our house. They're up at the crack of dawn. Kids.
Anyway, Pokemon Go.
Yep, no. Go on. Go on. See? Yeah.
Oh, that was my number 3.
My number 3 is one that we've put many hours into, and I still think it's a fun game, even though it stopped getting support on console. They only support it on PC now because the publisher dropped them. So no more updates for console ever, which sucks. Might be one of those games I actually get for PC just to see how far they've come with it, because the game on PC is way different now than what it was on console. And that game is 7 Days to Die. Do you remember that one at all?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So for those unfamiliar, it's basically Minecraft with zombies, but like actual zombies. You are put in this world, you wake up with basically nothing. You punch trees and punch rocks to obtain materials to craft clothing, tools, weapons, eventually building blocks, and you could fortify a base, and then you can find a vendor. You can go buy materials and various things and sell things. You explore different environments, whether it be a burnt out ruin environment, the winter, like a dry desert. There are farms, there are towns, there are big buildings like hospital. And everything is destructible in the environment. 100-bit donation from Cody. Hip hip hooray. Thank you for that. Yeah. So everything in the world is destructible. Not only by you, but the zombies as well. So you have to find materials to upgrade to have better fortification. And then it is played, depending on your settings, it can be 30 minutes for a day, up to 2 hours for a day. There are airplanes that drop off supplies that you can go and obtain different blueprints for upgrades. But the title is 7 Days to Die. And at the end of 7 days, at the 2200 hours, a horde of zombies comes to your location. You have to fight them off. And this repeats every 7 days. There are zombies in between the days that you'll encounter, but they're not as aggressive or feral as they are on the 7th night. And that's the gist of the game. There is really no beating it. I've seen people play into the thousands of days. There's just playing it. I don't think there is an end goal or a finish to the game. I don't know how you beat it. You level up by doing things, getting experience points, so you can level up certain things so you get faster at building or crafting. And then you just get better at the game. But the zombies also get more difficult. So it's a fun game.
All right. My number 2 is Gears of War 4. It was nice to have a playable female character for the first time in the series, I'm pretty sure. And you basically play around with Marcus's son, and then the older characters join you later in the game, so you get some of that nostalgia from the first 3.
Coltrane.
But yeah. But I'm pretty sure we played through this entire game, and I just remember it being fun. I'm not terrible at it. And then playing online is fun with Horde mode and stuff like that. So
love Horde mode. Such a fun game. That was your number.
That's my number 2.
It's number 2, huh? Because it's the shit. Uh-huh. Okay. The laugh track didn't work. I gotta fix that. All right. My number 2 is one we mentioned earlier, Stardew Valley. I put in a lot of time to this. This appealed to me, again, because of a farming and a simulation game. And the style of it is 16-bit, like retro-bit. And it just hit all those nostalgia numbers for me. And still to this day, it's a fun game. I've never finished it, never finished the story. I just keep farming and then going into the caves and collecting things, see how far I can go. That's really it. 55-bit donation from Cody. Hip hip. Hooray. Thank you for that. So, yeah, I think Cody's joining us for 2017. He said he was going to be able to make it by then. Cody, are you home? Are you commuting home? Don't be donating and driving. That's not safe. Because it goes into a drinking cup.
I love how Cody specified he didn't call me a dick. Thanks, Cody.
He knows better. You've struck fear into people.
I can't imagine why. I am an angel, sweetheart. So.
So is Satan.
Oh, touche.
He was.
All right. So that was your number 2, huh?
That was my number 2. What is your number 1 game of 2016? Hit us.
You want to guess it?
The Harry Potter Lego game.
No, you're never going to guess it. It is 7 Days to Die.
I should have known when you didn't have that on your list.
Say much. I know.
Yeah.
I know. We had so much fun with this game. We played it for, that's probably why I haven't played many of the other games, because literally any free time we had, we played this game instead. Because it's easy to pick up and put down. You know, you could go in and out of it without losing anything. Excuse me. I mean, you covered most of it. You know, you have 7 days until a blood moon comes, and then hordes of zombies and infected animals will attack you wherever you are. So you have to spend the first 6 days building up a fortress. The zombies will continue to attack any person and anything until it's destroyed. So you just have to build, and every 7th day they get stronger. So they're, mild on 7, and then they get harder and harder and harder on 14, 21, and so on and so forth. It's basically Minecraft with zombies. And during the day, they're pretty easy to avoid. They go slow. And then during the night, they become more feral and they're harder to get rid of. So you have to kind of stay inside. But there, a plane comes by every so often and drops off a big box that you can run out into the wilderness to find. And there's, areas of snow, areas of desert, areas of, good weather. It rains. You have to wear clothes so you get cold. You have to eat food so you don't get hungry. It was a fun game. You and I played that a lot. We had fun with it.
The thing I enjoy about it, too, is there's a lot of customization settings. So one of them is the block durability. You can lower it or increase it, which basically means that it's more durable or less durable. It takes more hits to destroy or less hits. This goes for the zombies as well. You can adjust the time, like how long the day cycle will be. You can adjust whether or not the zombies run at you at nighttime only or all the time, how many spawn on the map, how aggressive they are, how much loot is on the map, what do you get to keep when you die, when you respawn, everything in your bag, everything on your belt, various things like that. So there's a lot of messing around with different stats to get different results depending on how much of a challenge you want. You can also do much like Minecraft where you have just like a creative mode. If you're just really into crafting things, you can unlock all the equipment and all the crafting items at will and just build stuff, which I like that as an option. But a note on that, it disables achievements or trophies. So, yeah, it's a fun game, and it was super cheap too when we got it. I think it was under $20 because it was a beta build of a game. It's an unfinished game. It's technically still in beta, even on the PC. So, and again, I'm very interested in one day getting it for the PC just to see how far it continues to improve. Because I follow them on social media, and they every now and then showcase updates of the skins and various items they've added into the game, and visually does not look like anything that's on the console now. It looks and performs much better like a polished game, whereas on the console it is kind of clunky. Like, it's not a smooth experience, but it's a fun game, so you tend to overlook things like that. But I could talk about that game for the whole episode, so probably should have been my number 1, but it's not.
What is your number 1?
Can you guess?
No, I cannot guess.
Just take a guess.
The Sims 4.
No, it didn't come out this year.
It was a joke.
That's a bad joke. Bad joke. Take it back. Take it back now, y'all.
What's your number 1?
2 hops this time.
Oh my god.
My number 1 is Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was working at Google at this time for the first time, and literally every lunch, there would be a group of us that would pile into someone's vehicle or take a walk into the adjacent parking lot to go to the local Pokestops to either refresh or get a lead on some tracker that we found online that might not be accurate, that these Pokemon are spawning here during this time. So we have to take our lunch now to head over to the local cemetery or somewhere. And that is what we did. It was an experience unlike any other gaming craze that I've ever had in my life, because you had casuals, non-casuals, hardcore gamers. You had everybody. Literally, if there was a flock of people in an area, they were playing Pokemon Go. And to me, that was so interesting. And of course, you also had the bad apples that were pissed because all these people are on their property. They had to put new policies in place in regards to people congregating in places like cemeteries, which is incredibly disrespectful, as we're standing on people's graves trying to catch a Gengar or something. Like, it was just obnoxious. But that 2 to 3 month craze before it kind of died down, and some people stuck with it longer than others. That ending summer of Pokemon Go is one that I'll always remember, just because it was just such a fun time for gaming, and especially mobile gaming. It was so unique.
Yeah, it really was.
It's so hard to believe that was 5 years ago now. And that was like one of the first big interactive and engaging content things we had in the early days of DNA. Because keep in mind, Dose of Nerd Acumen was just a blog and then a Facebook group when it started for 2 years. And it wasn't until this kind of stuff where we started putting polls up, what level people were, what they had caught, and they started getting engaged with the nerd content we were putting out. Because at first it was just like a small group of people that would post stuff randomly. But it was this that kind of broadened our outreach. So thanks, Pokemon Go. It was also this game that made me kind of shun people and, I guess, scold people for spending money on a free game, because I never understood that. Because it grossed like $1 billion, and I was just flabbergasted that a free game made $1 billion. Because, like,
Yeah.
all you did was buy turns. It's like Candy Crush. You just buy turns. And I'm like, I don't understand that. You can't wait, because it does replenish. Or if you just go to that Pokestop every 5 minutes, you can get more Pokeballs. Why did you spend $4 to get more? Just wait 5 minutes. But, hey, to each their own. It's their money, not mine. Do what you want with your own money. But it just, I'm like, whoa. Okay. But people enjoy what they will. Let them enjoy it, I guess. Trevor says, can we go back to that time Pokemon Go got people outside and no pandemic? Facts, man. Facts. It's crazy where we're at to where we were. It's depressing. Let's not be depressing. Let's end on a positive. Pokemon Go was an incredible event. Will we see something like that happen that big again for mobile phones? Probably not. I don't know. Hopefully. Any last thoughts before we take our break, before we start the next year?
Oh, ma'am.
Well, Cody says because money. Yeah. Cream, cash rules everything around me. Anyways, this was 2016 in gaming, our 131st episode of The Dosage. Stick around, we got more coming tonight. If you're listening to us on podcast platforms, you can already go to the next episode. It's available. Check it out. But for those that tuned in live, thank you so much. Stick with us. We're going to go on to a standby screen while we set up for 2017. We'll be right back after these messages from our non-existent sponsors.